Are you looking for a GPS golf watch? Great, because one of the 10 watches in this video is probably going to be the one for you. We got a little something for everybody, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in. All right, we're gonna start small. We're gonna work our way up to the better watches. So the best watch under $100 is this. This is the TECTECTEC ULT-G, and there's nothing special about it. There's nothing fancy about it, but if all you care about is getting accurate GPS yardages just by simply looking at your wrist, this is gonna get the job done. And I like the fact that it's so simple. With some less expensive models that give GPS overlays of maps and things like that, it just doesn't look very good and it's not user-friendly. So if you're going on the budget end, I like it when brands just keep it simple. Don't do anything fancy. Just give me the numbers I need, give it to me quickly, and do it for a price that's super affordable, and that's exactly what this TECTECTEC does. Next up, best golf watch under $200, and at this point, I still think keeping it simple is the way to go. Just go for yardages, don't worry about all the fancy maps and fancy stuff, because most of the time, unless you see something on a killer sale, those watches just are gonna be a little bit too cumbersome. So the best watch under $200 I recommend is the GARMIN S12. You're gonna notice Garmin being a little bit of a trend throughout this video because they honestly have so many good options at so many different price points, but we're gonna explain why that is and if you should go Garmin or not. But if you're looking for the best watch under $200 at 199 bucks, the Garmin S12 is an excellent choice. If you don't wanna go Garmin for some reason, you might consider the BUSHNELL ION Elite. It's the same price, also does a really good job. The only downside to that is I have heard stories of people having issues with BUSHNELL customer service, and people that have bought the older version of the ION watch have now found out that it's not supported. So there's been some frustration there. So for me personally, I would lean towards that Garmin S12, but the BUSHNELL ION Elite is also a totally capable golf watch. All right, next up, we're talking best bang for the buck, and this is the first heavy hitter on this list. This is going to be the one a lot of you are going to choose, quite simply because it's one of the best golf watches out there at any price point right now, and that is this. This is the Voice Caddie T11 Pro. It just came out, and honestly, the amount of stuff they pack into this is pretty mind-blowing. So this thing will do pretty much anything you're gonna want a GPS golf watch to do. It's got a beautiful screen, it's got built-in shot tracking. When it's paired to your phone, it will give you wind direction. It's even got green heat maps, so you can see what the undulations of the green are going to do. It's got a tempo mode, so you can practice and make sure that your swing is exactly where you want it to be, and overall, it works really well. The retail price is $350, but Breaking 80 readers can get it for $300 at the link below, and honestly, there's no watch that really comes close to the amount of features this has for the price point. The one thing I will say is it's got one button, but it's mostly a touchscreen. For me personally, I like having physical buttons, and I found myself kind of struggling to get it to do exactly what I wanted it to do in my testing. That being said, once you get used to it, it should be fine, but this is clearly the best bang for the buck in the golf GPS market. For the most part, you're gonna have to spend at least twice as much to get similar features on any other watch. One thing I want to say while you're watching this video, if you're still not sure which of these watches is right for you, go take our 30-second quiz. You're going to answer a couple questions about what you're looking for in a GPS golf watch, and I'm going to give you my best recommendation based on your needs. It's super fast, and I think you're going to find it super valuable, and the link is right there below. Back to the video. All right, next up is the best GPS golf watch for Arccos users. If you don't know what Arccos is, they're sensors you put on every single club, and it allows you to track every single shot you hit and get an unbelievable amount of data and statistics. And the best watch for Arccos users is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. The bigger screen and the better battery life really makes the Arccos experience a whole lot better, and having all the GPS data and all those Arccos features right on your wrist is amazing. If I'm being totally honest, for me personally, my favorite GPS watch setup on this entire list is using an Apple Watch Ultra with Arccos. But I don't usually do that anymore because I ended up switching to a Garmin watch, and I want to make sure I'm getting all of that Garmin health and fitness data and steps. I want to get all of that on the golf course, so I stopped using my Apple Watch, and now I use the Arccos Link Pro. That being said, if you're in the Apple universe, you're an Arccos user, getting an Apple Watch and using the GPS data there is an awesome experience. But let's say you don't like Arccos for some reason and you don't want to spend the money to get in the Garmin ecosystem, but you still want shot tracking. The best GPS watch for shot tracking is this. This is the SHOTSCOPE V5, and it represents one of the best values on this list. SHOTSCOPE has a number of products out there, but one of the things they're best known for is having a shot tracking system that does not require a subscription. So unlike Arccos, where it's $155 a year, or unlike Garmin, where you've got to spend a whole lot more money to get the CT10 sensors and a watch, and there's a subscription if you want to do it, SHOTSCOPE has none of that, and my favorite way to use SHOTSCOPE is with the V5. Last year they rolled out the X5, which they still sell, and it's a more expensive version of this. Essentially the watch is a little bit nicer, it's got some extra features, and it's got a touchscreen. But the big difference you'll find is the V5 has physical buttons. It's not a touchscreen. And for me personally, when you're on the golf course and you're trying to do something quickly, buttons just makes everything a lot faster. And so I like that better personally. So the V5 is $250, but I've also got a Breaking 80 coupon code that's gonna knock another 15% off of that. You can use that code below. And the nice thing about SHOTSCOPE is often they will leave that code active when they're running sales. So it's totally feasible that even though this is $250 list, if you find it on the right sale, you can get it for under $200. And considering there's no subscriptions, that is a pretty killer deal. So while this is a little bit more of a budget-friendly option, I don't necessarily like the user interface quite as much, and I don't like using the SHOTSCOPE system as much as I do Arccos. If you're on a budget, this is basically the best shot tracking deal out there. Real quick disclaimer, you probably already know this already, but if you use any of the links below, those are affiliate links. If you buy the product, I will get a commission. I do not care whether or not you buy any of these products. My whole goal here is just to help you find the products that are right for your needs. That being said, if you do decide to buy one of these products and you found this video helpful, clicking that link allows me to continue making videos like this. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. All right, we talked about the low end. Let's talk about the high end. What is the best luxury golf watch out there? And that one's kind of a no-brainer for me. That is the GARMIN MARQ II Golfer. This is a $2,300 golf smartwatch, but it's built like a luxury watch, and it has all of the benefits of the most high-end Garmin golf and fitness watches. So the only other product I might consider in this luxury range is the TOG Heuer Connected Golf Edition, but for me, it's a no-brainer. I would pick up the Garmin because you get everything that comes with the Garmin ecosystem, and TOG just doesn't have that. So obviously this isn't for most of you, but if you decide you want to spend a whole lot of money on a really cool watch, that's the way I would go. And finally, this brings us to the best overall golf watch, and I've kind of got two of them depending on what you're looking for. We're sticking with a theme that has been prevalent throughout this video, and that is Garmin. And the best overall golf watch for most people is the Approach S70. This is Garmin's flagship golf watch. It is awesome. The features, the user experience, the tracking, everything works flawlessly. And so if you're looking for a dedicated golf watch on the golf course and you want the best user experience possible for shot tracking, for getting your data, for getting adjusted and real GPS yardages, or maybe you've even decided to splurge and you picked up the Approach Z30 rangefinder from Garmin, the S70 is going to be one of the very best ways to do it. And to be clear, it's also a very good smartwatch on its own, and it has a lot of built-in fitness capabilities that make it a standout both on the golf course and off. But if you're someone with an active lifestyle, or if you're already in the Garmin ecosystem and maybe use a different Garmin fitness watch, and you want kind of the best of the best both on the golf course and off, I would recommend upgrading to the EPIX Pro. The EPIX series adds a whole bunch of extra fitness stuff that the S70 can do, and it also adds 2 more physical buttons, which I have found to just make for a better experience. It's quite a bit more expensive. The S70 retails for around $699 for the 47mm version, and the EPIX Pro is going to be anywhere from like $800 to $1,100 depending on which variation you get. But if you're someone that does a lot of outdoor activities, if you do a lot of hiking, if you do a lot of running, if you do swimming, if you want to track your fitness and really focus on your health, the EPIX is going to give you a whole lot of data that the S70 just isn't going to do. So to sum that up, if it were me, the best overall golf watch, if you were looking for a watch just to use on the golf course and maybe you want to start tapping into some fitness features off the golf course, go get the Approach S70. If you know you're more of a diehard or you're really serious about tracking your health and fitness, I would upgrade and get one of the EPIX series watches because it's pretty much just as good as the S70 on the golf course, but it's going to be much better off the golf course. So there you go. Regardless of your budget, what features you're looking for, I have a feeling one of those GPS watches is going to be the right one for you. I've used all of these watches extensively, so if you have any questions, drop a comment below. I will do my very best to answer them. And like I said, go take that quiz. It's only going to take you like 30 seconds. You're going to tell me what features you need most and how you're going to use the watch, and I'm going to make my best recommendation on the watch that's the best fit for your needs. With that, I hope you got some value out of this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.